Hi, welcome back to my channel, Dream Big, Plan Big. Today I'm going to be talking about time blocking in your planner. Time blocking is utilized by some of the most productive people. For example, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. Elon Musk even time blocks his day down to the 5-minute increment. So what is time blocking? Time blocking is planning every moment of your day and dedicating specific time for each specific task. It works because it's designed for focus. The human brain needs guardrails, otherwise we fall into what's called the Parkinson's law. This is where work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. Basically, this means if you're given 2 weeks to do a specific project, you may wait until the last day to do it, whereas if you were told you had to have that project done by tomorrow, you could go home and finish it tonight. So it's just when you're given a certain amount of block of time, you tend to get things done in that block of time versus just giving yourself a unlimited amount of time to finish that project. Some of the benefits include minimizing the burden of task switching. This is just basically the amount of extra time or inefficiency that it takes to switch in your mind between one thing or another. Maybe you're working on one type of task, you're planning in your planner, but all of a sudden you decide you want to make a few phone calls and then you come back to your planner. You're not going to be as efficient as if you just did all your planner work first and then made the phone calls. Okay, so utilizing what's called single tasking, and this means just focusing on one task at a time, and this can actually make you up to 80% more productive than splitting your attention over multiple tasks. Okay, so how do you time block in your planner? I do quite a bit of time blocking in my planner, so I'm going to go through some examples of how I've set mine up and some different suggestions on how you can sort of come up with your own process in time blocking for yourself. Now, a lot of people have different sort of categories in their life. Maybe you have kids, so you have kids activities and sports that they need to go to. And then you might have your career things, and maybe you have a side hustle and you're selling things on eBay at the side. So you want to keep track of that. And you have this planner Instagram, and so you want to track the post on that. So you have all these different sort of compartments of your life, and you want to be able to keep them organized and time block your day so that you can complete all the tasks within each compartment at one time. One of the best ways that I typically start this process is by taking a look at everything I do, and I write down my goals and what task or what projects that I want to dedicate the most time to. Another thing that I do to start out the process is I fill out these sort of typical daily templates where I'll write in, these are the sort of things that I am going to work on. Give yourself sort of a general guideline. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to stick to these things every week, but it's good to have kind of a general idea. It makes your planning week go a lot easier. One thing that I like to do as well is I have a teacher planner that I like to write out all my different tasks. So I've got my social media, I've got a YouTube channel that I run for a disability that I have, another YouTube channel that I'm starting up, and some beamers that I sell, bioelectric magnetic energy regulation, not the car beamer. Just some stuff I might sell on eBay and some stock trading. So I break up my categories on the teacher planner, and then I start out by listing the tasks that I want to get accomplished that day. Other can just be personal things, and but I write it out like this. That way I can have a good overview and say, okay, Monday, I'll work on the finance stuff. Tuesday, I'm going to work on dream big, plan big, and some resell things. So this gives me an overview to make sure that I'm not over scheduling myself or overburdening my schedule for one day. So this gives me a nice visual. Because this is only Monday through Friday, the teacher planners don't include the weekends. Sometimes I will just switch these up and put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They'll fit, there's 7 columns here, so you can do it that, and then I'll just cover these up and put my different categories in here. So that's a different way to do it. I like to sometimes just stick with the Monday through Friday because I tend to over schedule myself, and that sort of just gives me the weekend to catch up on things that I might not have got accomplished during the week. This is what I usually will start out with. I'll show you a couple examples of some time blocking spreads that I have done. Here's one where I have, you can see I just put in different boxes for different things that I want to do. Maybe my CRPS network or my Dream Big, Plan Big I'm going to work on for an hour, and then 2 hours for the CRPS network. Here's, some different time blocks. I kind of go back and forth between sometimes I will just write in here Dream Big, Plan Big, and then I have a separate planner for my social media. So then I know, okay, for the details and plan of what I want to do for that, I will go to my Dream Big, Plan Big planner, and that sometimes I'll list the details in there. Sometimes I just list the details right in here. Like you can see I've done here, Dream Big, Plan Big, and I've said, okay, I want to do these things today. So I really like utilizing the hourly planner for my time blocking. It really kind of gives me a dedicated time where I say, okay, for Dream Big, Plan Big, I'm going to work on it from 10 to 2 o'clock. I'm going to work on it for 4 hours. I know sometimes I like to create a little bit of a buffer. And so you could see here, Molly, vet and bath. Maybe I took her to the vet to get some grooming. And you can see I have this scheduled from 4 to 7. Now, it's probably not going to take me 3 hours to do that, but this sort of builds a little bit of buffer time in case maybe I need some time to finish some of these other tasks during the day. Then that can sort of give me some buffer time. I'll use a bigger sticker, or sometimes I'll even put in some decorative stickers like here. Maybe all day long I spent working on this squad application, but I just put a sticker in here because there's nothing else I worked on that day. Here's another example where on my time blocking, I've kind of put in bigger black bold writing what it is that Dream Big, Plan Big, and then the details I've written in colored ink inside the box. I also sometimes just do a to-do list. But, here, Beamer, where at this point I may say, okay, I'm going to work on my Beamer from 10 to 2 for those 4 hours, and I'll get my Beamer planner out to see what it is exactly that I'm going to be doing in there. Okay, some other tips that I have for time blocking are to start with your high level priorities. Your focus is usually best in the morning. However, some people are night people, and sometimes you could be most productive at night. What I suggest is maybe even keeping a hourly planner as an actual planner, and you could keep track for a week of what you do every day. And sometimes just analyzing this, you can determine what is the most productive time for you. Some people are night owls, and between 9 p.m. and midnight, they get more done in those 3 hours than any other time of day. Maybe you're most productive at 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. before the rest of your family wakes up. But determining when those most productive hours are, and then trying to schedule the most high priority task in that time is beneficial. They say that the first 60 minutes of your morning, you're the most creative, the most productive. After that, you tend to start getting bogged down with things that you have to do during the day. So they say that your focused is best the first thing in the morning. So you don't want to really spend that time checking emails or on social media. Those are things that don't really take a lot of focus and thought. So it's best to schedule those for a time later in the day. Next, another tip is to establish morning routines and evening routines. As you can see, I have my routine sort of in here where I water plants, I check on my stocks, monitor my stocks. I also sometimes just put in my planner that morning routine, and I have a pretty good idea now what my morning routine is, but sometimes I'll just mark in here 1 hour. I'm gonna do my morning routine during then. Okay, so another suggestion I have is to make sure to make time for your family, friends, hobbies, self-care. This is the most important. More important than your other tasks is making sure that you're taking care of yourself. So sometimes it's easy to load up your schedule full of all the tasks that you want to do, and you don't really leave time for yourself and your self-care. So make sure to schedule that in. Also, schedule in time to check on emails or do social media. Try to schedule your things like that for your what I call your low focus tasks for later in the day, or during times when you find that you're least productive during the day. Also, add blocks of time for reactive tasks. Now, these could be calls or emails. Your day's not going to just go perfect where everybody's going to happen to call you during your time that you have blocked to do phone calls or emails. You're going to get calls throughout the day. So you can add some blocks in for reactive tasks. Also, create time for appointments. Now, you're obviously always going to have doctor's appointments, or you got to go to the DMV, or your oil changed, or you're always going to have appointments or things that you have to do like that, errands. And I like to keep one designated day. So I say pick my Thursdays, and that's my appointment day. So if I have a doctor's appointment that's coming up, I try to keep it on Thursdays. That way I can keep my regular schedule going and it's not interrupted. Okay, another tip I have is to fill in your task in the time slots. And like I said, this could be where you just say, I'm going to do this, and then go to, I'm going to do Dream Big, and then you go to your Dream Big planner, or you can write in the specific task here. But having your specific tasks in the time slot really helps you sort of gauge, okay, can I edit a video in an hour? You don't want to write 15 things to do in 1 hour when that realistically is going to take you several hours to do. So writing the task per time slot and not just a general to-do list can help sort of gauge how long this is going to take and what you can realistically get done in a day. Also, it's a good idea just to build in some time blocks for buffers between tasks. And this is just, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to switch gears between tasks. Some people like to maybe take a bathroom break or have a snack or take a short little walk, but it can be good to have some time blocks or buffers between your tasks. That way you have a little bit of time to switch gears. Also, plan a catch-up day. Like I said, sometimes I will schedule tasks throughout Monday through Friday and keep my weekends open and use that as sort of a catch-up time to finish tasks that I didn't get done during the week. And it creates a lot less stress knowing that you do have that catch-up day. So when things do kind of go awry, or maybe you have some unexpected things that happen, you know in the back of your mind that you don't have to panic. You have a catch-up day that you can sort of get things back on track. Okay, another suggestion is to set a timer. You know, if you set a timer and say, okay, I'm going to work on the CRPS network videos for 4 hours, you can set a timer on your phone. When that's done, you know you need to stop and switch tasks. Okay, so lastly, I just want to say, think of time blocking as a framework, not as a set of laws that can't be broken. Your day is rarely going to go as planned. However, you're less likely to go down a Facebook rabbit hole if it'll push out your entire schedule. So that's why I feel like the time blocking schedule really works for trying to be very productive and stay focused on tasks that you're trying to get accomplished. So that is it for my suggestions on time block. If you have any recommendations that you use in implementing time blocking, make sure to leave it in the comments below and let me know in the comments below. Do you utilize time blocking? All right, thanks for checking out this video. If you found it helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Ring the bell to be notified of when I make my next video. Until then, take care, everybody.